And China's spotlight on Kenya's 2023, the year in review. A tapestry of international events unfolding, showcasing the nation's role on the global stage. Kenya experienced a momentous year filled with significant events and global engagements. The year kicked off with great anticipation. You remember King Charles III making a historic visit to the nation, fostering diplomatic ties and symbolizing a new chapter in international relations. Kenya's commitment to environmental stewardship took center stage as the country proudly hosted the Inaugural African Climate Summit. Mari Yambo takes us through some of the 2023 momentous events.
In a historic chapter for Kenya, the year 2023 marked the inaugural visit of King Charles III as the reigning British monarch. The nation buzzed with excitement and anticipation as it prepared to welcome the royals. The four-day state visit commenced with a visit to State House, Nairobi. The king was accorded the ceremonial 21-gun salute by members of the Kenya Defence Forces. The royal itinerary included a visit to the Carrier Corps war graves in honor of those who died serving the Carrier Corps, a regiment whose name and legacy left a mark in Kenya after the First World War of 1914 to 1918. Known for his commitment to conservation of biodiversity and climate action, King Charles III and his entourage made their way to Mombasa, where a host of marine conservationists showcased their efforts towards protecting the coastal strip's ecosystem. At a state banquet hosted by President William Ruto, the two leaders acknowledged the painful history of the colonial era.
Your exemplary courage and readiness to shed light on uncomfortable truths that reside in the darker regions of our shared experience are also very commendable.
By addressing our history with honesty and openness, we can perhaps demonstrate the strength of our friendship today,
while also committing to deepening diplomatic ties between the two countries.
We both take considerable pride in renewing the ties between the United Kingdom and Kenya, a country that has long held such special meaning for my family. Najisikia kama niko nyumbani.
As the year unfolded, Kenya led the continent in the ongoing climate change conversations by hosting the Inaugural Africa Climate Summit in Nairobi. Among demands by the delegates at the summit were commitments to the principles of climate justice, human rights, gender equality, and intergenerational equity in all climate policies and actions.
Africa is a renewable energy and natural capital superpower, but it has not engaged the world and the climate crisis in a climate positive green growth agenda. And it is now time for Africa to take a new position, a progressive and a positive position.
Kenya's commitment to sustainability took center stage as President William Ruto read out the Nairobi Declaration, setting a precedent for eco-conscious initiatives across the continent.
Let the declaration of our commitment to act in unison and deliver our aspirations go forth in the firm, clear voice of a united Africa from Nairobi today.
The Middle East featured prominently in Kenya's diplomatic engagements. The visit of the Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi not only bolstered ties but also opened avenues for collaborative efforts in various spheres
that include education, scholarship, infrastructure, health, water, fisheries, agriculture and housing, urban and metropolitan development, among other areas.
This country, it boasts great capacities, and we also share great capacities, and our country exchanges of such capacities could contribute to enhancement of our bilateral relations.
Kenya's global reach expanded further with the meeting of minds as President Joko Widodo of Indonesia made his inaugural visit to Nairobi and Africa as Kenya and Indonesia sought to foster partnership, particularly in the manufacture of pharmaceuticals and vaccines.
I hope that this cooperation can be expanded to medicinal products and other pharmaceutical items. Fourth, I have also conveyed Indonesia's commitment through Indonesian aid for Kenya in the fields of healthcare, food security, and disaster management.
President William Ruto singled out livestock and oil sectors as areas of mutual interest. To bolster the relations, Kenya waived visa requirements for Indonesian citizens.
We have taken the decision to extend the visa-free entry not only to holders of diplomatic and service passports, but to all holders of Indonesian passports. So our friends from Indonesia can now come to Kenya visa-free.
President Ruto has also hosted his Angolan counterpart, President João Lourenço, seeking closer relations with the Southern African nation. Angola's president committed to implement agreements signed between Nairobi and Luanda for the mutual benefit of the two countries.
For all those years, we've been waiting up until we had the opportunity of signing this big number of cooperation instruments of which we are going to do our utmost in order to implement them for the interest of the two peoples and the nations.
Escalating our trade numbers. Our brothers and sisters in Angola, after the signing of the instrument today, all of them, with all passports, will now need no visa to come to Kenya.
Italy's President Sergio Mattarella added a European touch to Kenya's diplomatic calendar. Bilateral agreements included collaboration in, among others, the health sector and political consultations.
Our two countries shall cooperate in the fields of health towards the realization of universal health coverage and improved pharmaceutical production.
We very much appreciated the crucial role played by you, Mr. President, your government, the role that Kenya as a whole has played in Ethiopia, so we could solve the dramatic confrontation between the Ethiopian government and the Tigray region.
Diplomatic dance continued as Kenya welcomed the Prime Minister of the Czech Republic, emphasizing the significance of international cooperation and shared values.
The economic partnership agreement that now has been concluded, and we will be signing it off on the 17th of December, that affords Kenya, being the first country in our region, to get quota-free, duty-free access to the European market.
IT technologies and space research is also very promising area. Our high-tech companies already work with Kenyan partners on development of small satellites.
Another significant visit was by the Romanian president, cementing Kenya's position as a key player in global affairs, including climate action and trade.
I requested His Excellency the President to join me in advocating for climate action and calling upon developed nations to work with us. And I have requested him directly to support the Nairobi Leaders' Declaration.
I've expressed my appreciation for the role of leader undertaken by President Ruto and Kenya in the efficient management and fighting climate change. And we've agreed that our administrations cooperate tighter in this respect.
As the year concluded, Kenya stood at the intersection of diverse diplomatic endeavors, leaving an indelible mark on the international stage and reinforcing its commitment to fostering positive relationships across continents. Marie Yambo reporting for the Spotlight 2023.